Illuminatus Part 1, The Eye in the Pyramid by Robert Shea and Robert Anton Wilson. Wow, not sure where to start with this one. This first book in the Illuminatus trilogy came out in 1975 while I was still in high school. My friend Kevin read it. He was a brilliant kid, extremely well read even then. He understood the references and the in-jokes. It's taken me decades of random info absorption to get to where I can, at least partially, get what Shea and Wilson were doing. Compared to other books I've reviewed on this channel, well, let me stop there. This does not really compare in any way with any of the books I've reviewed. The only book I can think of that might possibly be compared is Gravity's Rainbow by Thomas Pynchon. If you've ever cracked the covers on that book, you have a glimmer of what you're in for with Illuminatus. Every conspiracy you've ever heard of makes an appearance in this novel. Well, that's probably a bit of an exaggeration, but the Illuminati, of course, the assassin cult of Afghanistan, murders of John Kennedy, Robert Kennedy, and Martin Luther King, lost Atlantis and Mu, UFOs, I could go on. It's all part of this story. And when I say story, I'm probably stretching the usual definition of that word. Characters inhabit different bodies, bilocate, and time travel in psychedelic fashion. Without marijuana and LSD, I'm not sure human minds would ever have produced such a strange literary landscape. A major character in the book is an investigator named Saul Goodman. Yep, Saul Goodman, just like in Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Pretty sure Vince Gilligan is well acquainted with Illuminatus. The Arisian use of the number 23 and an early mention of sarsaparilla make me speculate that the Coen brothers read this thing sometime prior to writing The Big Lebowski. Robert Anton Wilson wrote a number of books promoting his Arisian belief system, and for quite some time it was common to see Arisian motifs popping up in movies and TV shows like Lost. Shea and Wilson are a couple of highly intelligent stoner philosophers. I think that description is as good as any for this dynamic duo. They had obviously read extensively in the literature of conspiracies, unexplained phenomena, and were well aware of popular psychotropics and the folklore surrounding them. The two men were working for Playboy magazine when they met, became friends, and dreamed up this unique concept. After the success of this trilogy, they both left Playboy and became full-time writers. The book is clearly not for everyone, despite the fact that it became a bestseller. It could be that it was one of those novels that gets such positive press, everyone buys it and pretends to have read it because it's just the in thing to do. That's what happened with Infinite Jest and Gravity's Rainbow. If you haven't read about Freemasons, Adam Weishaupt, lost civilizations, if you think JFK was killed by a lone nut named Lee Harvey Oswald, then you may not be able to find a foothold here. It's esoteric fiction for esotericists, and I guess those were maybe a little more common in 1975. In these pages, you'll find talking dolphins, priceless golden statues from the ruins of Atlantis, bisexual assassins in Dallas circa 1963, a lot of whimsical numerology tricks, drug use, kinky sex used as Illuminati rituals, meta-referencing, and just about every other bizarre idea normal people pay no attention to. The groovy cover art by Carlos Ochagavia, forgive me if I mispronounce that, adds another layer of mystery. Instead of his own name, he signed the painting Carlos Victor. No doubt he was going along with the author's and publisher's desire to create as much mystique as possible around the trilogy. But Ochagavia's distinct style is easy to spot even without his name. He did many great pieces of surrealist commercial art during the 70s and 80s. I enjoyed reading this book immensely. Because of its dense, occult, esoteric, and complex contents, I could probably discover new wonders with every subsequent reading. I have no doubt I will pick it up again someday in the not-too-distant future. If anything I've said here sounds appealing, then come on in. The waters are turbulent, seductive, mesmerizing, and addictive. Illuminatus Part 1, The Eye in the Pyramid, by Robert Shea and Robert Anton Wilson. A wonderful literary substitute for dropping acid. I want to invite you to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Those are the things that help this channel reach more people just like you.